안녕하세요. 안녕하세요. So, hello everyone. Some of you may not know me, and some of know me. I'm an actress from South Korea, and I'm so happy to be here with all of you tonight to introduce my dear friend, a woman who I deeply respect and love, Margarette Lee. So, I first met Margaret a few years ago, right here at this KACF Gala, through another woman who I truly respect, the great Mickey Lee. Margaret and I hit it off right away. I felt her thoughtful, kind, and genuine nature. And through the years, she's become like second mother to me. Margaret, a first-generation Korean American woman, has carved out her own space. So, building success through resilience, determination, and an unshakable work ethic. New York real estate is one of the most competitive markets in the world. In the 1980s, when Margaret was starting her career, there were no Korean American women New York real estate developers. Even today, not even 0.1% of all New York developers are Asian women, just 0.1%. Maybe only Margaret. Isn't it amazing? When she was first starting out, people often underestimated her, seeing her as a woman, an Asian American woman. But over time, everyone has gotten to know how formidable and determined she is as a leader. Over her long career, she has led an extraordinary range of projects across the globe. From the Sky Garage building, a one-of-a-kind car elevator condominium in West Chelsea, to a vertical art gallery. From data centers throughout the US, Google's offices at Pier 57, the radio tower and hotel in Washington Heights, to a vineyard estate in Mendoza, Argentina, now producing some of the finest wines in the world. Wow. I'm so lucky to be her daughter. So free wine for me. Yay. Margaret, with her kind heart, is also a philanthropist and has supported KACF and the Korean American community for many, many years. She and her husband, the artist Ik-jung Kang, have opened their home to many, creating a space to discuss KACF's mission and the importance of giving back. As a leader and an inspiration, Margaret embodies her values of KACF, showing what it means to care and make a lasting difference. In every area of her life, she has not only succeeded, but thrived, earning the respect of her peers, competitors, and community alike. She is a great, great businesswoman, and she's also a wonderful friend and wife and mother. Everyone who knows Margaret loves her. We love you, and I love you. Please join me in welcoming my dear mom, Margarette Lee.
Good evening. Thank you, Hyo-joo, for such a warm and thoughtful introduction. From the moment we bonded under the Mendoza stars, I knew our friendship was special. It was inevitable that you would become like a daughter to me. It means the world to me that you traveled all the way from Korea to be by my side here tonight. Thank you. What an incredible honor it is to stand before you tonight at KACF Gala. I'm deeply, deeply humbled and grateful to be recognized by an organization that has done so much for our community. And to my fellow honorees, it's truly an honor to stand here among such brilliant minds, a scientist who maps and reconstructs the neural brain of a fly, a chef who has been named #1 in the world, and past honorees like Mickey Lee, my mentor, Jo Bae, In Sun Hwang, Juju Chang. I mean, the list goes on. Tonight is not just a celebration of accomplishments, but a recognition of the collective power of our community. We are here because of the hard work, sacrifices, and resilience of those who came before us, our parents, our grandparents, and the pioneers who paved the way so that we could stand here tonight a little taller. Their struggles and triumphs fuel our responsibility to continue this legacy. But what excites me the most is being here tonight is a chance to speak to the young women in this room. You know, I began my journey in real estate development 40 years ago. As you can imagine, back then, women developers were a rare breed. Even today, there aren't many of us, especially someone like me, a triple minority, an Asian woman developer, and a short Asian woman developer. It all started 62 years ago. My parents, who desperately wanted a son, were so devastated when their second child was once again a girl. The nurses at the hospital, knowing this, jokingly told my father, "It's a boy." But before they could explain that it was a joke, he ran out of the house with only his slippers, took a taxi to the hospital. When he arrived and saw my mom crying, he immediately knew that I was not a son. And so this was the beginning of my journey. I left Korea when I was 9 because of my father's job at the Korean Airlines. We moved every 2 years, and I ended up attending 19 different schools. My mother told me, "This is your palja, your destiny." It was challenging, but in hindsight, it was a gift. It taught me that the world is vast, that people live differently, think differently, believe differently. I learned to respect those differences and to appreciate other cultures. And most importantly, that I had to try harder than everyone else to adapt quickly. Fast forward to when I got married at 23 years old. Believe it or not, I wasn't always in real estate. I met my husband, Ik-jung, at Hongik University, where we were both dreaming of becoming famous artists. Against my mother's wishes, because she was convinced that we were going to starve. We got married and pursued art together in New York. Then we realized that one of us had to put bread on the table. I still remember finding an old black and white TV on the streets of Soho, which we happily carried home to our Brooklyn home on the subway. It worked fine, except it was missing the dial to change the channels. So we stuck a wrench in its place of the dial and used it. We were actually poor, but we never felt poor. With Ik-jung's unwavering belief in me, I pursued a different path. With his support, I enrolled in law school at night, a decision that ultimately became invaluable in my real estate career. 40 years ago, when I first started in real estate, I didn't dwell on the prejudice I felt as I walked into a conference room full of men. I knew what they were thinking. Most of them assumed that I was a secretary there to take notes. You know, I was often the only woman in the room. And my business partner, Youngwoo, always told me, sit in the middle, don't sit in the corner. Make your presence known. All along the way, I was lucky to be surrounded by people who believed in me at home and at work, and also believed in me in the community of women who uplifted me. Special sisters like Kyung-yoon, Juju Chang, Jeannie Park. Having that kind of support made a real difference. But I soon learned to hold my own. I sat through countless construction meetings surrounded by contractors and architects, mostly men. I even shouted my first swear words in one of those meetings. Let's just say I learned that sometimes the only way to get things done is to go with the flow. So tonight, I want to share with you lessons that helped me pass through as a woman in this field. Number one, set big goals. Dream big, but make practical approach. Two, be creative, not just in coming up with ideas, but in problem solving. Think outside the box. And three, give it your 120%. I always tell my son, Kyo, whether you want to be a filmmaker or even a garbage collector, work harder than anyone else. 4, be confident, show your charisma. Sit in the middle of the conference table. Studies show that men are much more likely to self-promote than women. A Harvard Business Review study found that women rate their performances lower than men do, even when their work is just as good or even better. Another study from LinkedIn found that women apply for 20% fewer jobs than men, even when they meet qualifications. And lastly, be generous. KACF does incredible work supporting the Korean community. Be generous with your time, your mentorship, and your support, not just for those in need, but for the people around you. I encourage you to lift each other up. Be the mentor you wish you had. We rise higher when we rise together. And for the men in the room, support your spouse. Be a cheerleader. Encourage her ambitions and advocate for her success. Help them be the best they can be. When men stand beside and uplift their wives, it creates a ripple effect, empowering not just one woman, but the entire family, workplace, and community. So in conclusion, I leave you with this. Don't be afraid to take up space. Don't be afraid to be the only woman in the room. Don't be afraid to go after your dreams, because one day you will find yourself standing exactly where I am tonight and far beyond into futures yet to be imagined. Thank you.